it's officially week 6 of my garden, so it's a month and a half, and we're going strong. I added some things and I will show you those. So in a different little patch off the porch, I had zucchini growing here in the ground last year, but nothing seemed to be growing after I planted everything, so this will be my potato mound. I need some potatoes to start sprouting eyes on them so I can plant them, because the bucket did not work at all. And then this, kind of like a makeshift thing because the soil just isn't good. I planted some zucchini here, and I planted a couple in each little spot, so hopefully we will have a lot of zucchini, but I just planted it this week, so there's no growth in there yet. So this is my second new addition, and the only other addition for the time being. This will probably be the last one. It's another garden box, so I have quite a few of them. Growing echinacea, hibiscus and chamomile, and Thai basil and sage. So in the echinacea, I have a little sprout right there. I'm guessing it is the echinacea growing, but I'm not 100% positive. So I planted this, I don't know, last weekend, and then looks like there might be a little sprout coming in right there. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I planted the hibiscus, chamomile, sage, and Thai basil like probably 3 or 4 days. So I've got nothing growing in these yet that I've seen. But I hope you like the new addition. I really love these planter boxes because they're very simple and kind of keeps everything together. Alright, so the tomato plant that looked like it was kind of dying there for a little bit, the one that my friend grew and gave to me, we're doing really well. Catgrass is kind of just hanging out here, but it's still doing pretty well. So what I thought would be, I guess it's flowers. Try and get it focused. Didn't know they flowered, but that's pretty exciting. Seems to be doing still okay. Nothing yet on the kids' plants. There's a little something there. I'm not sure why those aren't doing anything. And we've got cucumbers starting to grow. How exciting! That I don't believe is cucumber. Wow. And I don't know if you can see it right on here. No, there's a little blob right there. I almost stuck my face into a spider that's been hanging out. So we'll leave him be. So my African marigolds have all bloomed, and they actually all have, which I think I mentioned in last week's video, more growths on them, or buds. I guess that would be a better, nicer sounding word. There's more in there. Not all of them have little flowers that are gonna come. Alright, so the spinach and the red Russian kale. Here's the kale. It's doing pretty well. Getting pretty tall. And then let's look over here. The spinach is getting quite tall. Hopefully they'll start flattening out, or getting bigger, I guess. that would be the word. Going down, here is the arugula and the petite lupine. Everything's gotten so crazy from last week. The arugulas, I don't think I planted this much arugula, but maybe I did. And then going over to the lupine, look how tall these have gotten. I can't wait to see them bloom. Hopefully it'll attract a bunch of bees. Those are my boxes, all right next to each other. So we'll move on to. So right here, I got my sugar snap peas going crazy. I'm gonna have to get things up here, little bamboo shoots. Maybe we'll stick those in today, so that way they have something to grow up. So the kohlrabi's still growing. It's doing okay, it's gotten a lot taller. Okra, we're still coming. Taking its sweet time. Something's been eating the leaves, but that's okay. Still growing. Moving on to the basil. The basil is struggling quite a bit, I feel. What we got there? We haven't really had very, I guess, warm weather, but this week should help it a lot. I might have to take out some of the clovers just so it gives the basil some room to grow. So moving in on my planter box here, with the 4 segments, we'll start with the holy basil. There's several things coming up in here. I'm not quite sure which is which. This piece of grass thing is still here. But then it's got a small growth there. And several other things coming in. I was thinking it would look somewhat like the other basil. That's not it. That's a clover. But then there's quite a few things coming in here, so I guess we'll just have to wait, really wait and see. Hopefully it starts coming in soon. I'm very excited about this, like I've said in the last several videos. Moving on to the cilantro, still coming in strong, doing well. Just looking for the hot weather to make it have a little more growth on it. So we'll go to the wild bergamot. So this is the only growth that I've seen here so far. So we're just waiting and seeing. Here's the lettuce. It's looking really good. It's getting really big compared to last week. We've got 3 rows, so I'm looking forward to seeing these get taller. So I moved my tomato plants over here. Still a little bit taller from where we were last week, but not too much. I guess it hasn't really been too warm here, so we're just kind of waiting. Hopefully we'll have some growth. Chives are still coming in strong. I do need to use them more. I moved the cinnamon basil that I was growing out here, and it's gotten quite a bit taller, and it actually really does smell like cinnamon basil. So if you've ever wanted to grow it, you definitely should. No marigolds yet. The thyme has gotten a little crazy, but awesome, because there's so much of it. Here's my peppermint plant. We've come a long way from the last few videos. Here's the spearmint. I think what I'm going to do is harvest this and cut those off, so that way it'll give room for more stuff to grow, because I don't want it to go to waste again. Moving on, we've got some carrot growth in here, and they've come a long way from last week even. And the rosemary, I believe, is starting to grow. I think that's rosemary, unless it's something else. Still haven't done anything with this. need to do something, need to find something to plant. The dill. We've got even more little dill sprouts coming along in here. You can see that. It's really neat watching these grow. I still don't know what this is. I'm really thinking I planted the rest of my calendula, but I also didn't think that I had calendula left. So we could be in for a surprise, or it could just be calendula, but calendula is awesome. So moving down here, got tons of oregano. It's growing in really nicely. So I definitely need to pick this and dry it out. Unlike last year, I messed that up and a lot of it went to waste, and I don't want that happening again. So, got a lot more growth on the green beans from last week. All 3 plants are growing, and it's looking really good. Got several little blooms happening there. I don't know if they wouldn't be called blooms. I don't know what I'd call them. Growths? That's just such a weird word. Okay. Moving on to the leeks, the next compartment over. I thought this was it, but I don't think it is. I think these are it, because that looks more like a leek. So I think I'm going to have to pull that out. That's just a weed, I guess. But weeds are good. They add carbon, is it, to the soil? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure that's it, and they're really good for plants. Nope. Maybe an onion sprout. I don't think so though. But it could be. I could be wrong. I feel like it would just grow up with a shoot though. Kind of like these. See if we can get a better look. Excuse the dirt, I just watered these. Okay, so we're moving on. I almost can't see you behind all the garlic. Little, rather not little, they're actually pretty big compared to what they were. Some of them, if you look on here, I've got 4 sprouts coming in, are off of it. I don't know what they technically be called. This one has a 4th one starting. This one's got 4, and then this one's got another one starting right down here. So we're coming along quite nicely. So moving to the radishes next door. Hopefully these work well together. Didn't think about that. But they've gotten quite a bit bigger. I don't see any like radish growth necessarily, like of the radish root, but we'll just play it by ear. So one thing I don't talk about a lot is my not garden place. I mean, I guess technically it's a garden, but it's not my like food garden. Can you tell me what these are? Yes, they're mums. I got these for my birthday. I think I've put these in another video, but they really had a little tiny small growth on them because they were coming back several weeks ago. So I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna plant them near the shed. That's what I did, and they are very tall now. So I cleaned all of this out and I planted them, and then this tree bush thing, I don't remember what it's called, but one of my friends gave it to me to plant here at the house, so that's what I did. It's been very hard to try and get it to stand up. Peony? Maybe it's a peony, I think that's right. But it's doing pretty well. Got crushed last year. So yeah. Mums come back every year, so don't throw them away. Go ahead and plant them someplace, and then they just keep coming back. So here's this little area.